Yo, what up? This is JSF, and if you see the title of this video, I'm sure you know what time it is and you know what's going on. So, how strong is Happy Chaos? Is he worth playing? Is he worth buying? Is he top tier? Well, let's talk about it. And again, before I even get into this, like the video if you enjoy the content, please. But I want to just say that this type of video, when I do these type of videos, it's not to shit on a character or shit on the people who play the character, anything of that nature, right? It's just to speak about competitive play and how strong a character is in competitive play, because it is a thing. Tournaments are held for this game. People want to get good at this game and grind this game. So in the sense of competitive high-level play, every character has a strength. If you like the character, play him. If all you care about is playing who you like and grinding your favorite character, then turn the video off and go play the character. None of this will matter to you then, right? This is just strictly how strong is my character compared to other characters in the game. That's all this is for. I think this character is dope. I really enjoy playing Happy Chaos. I like his combos. I like his neutral. I really do. But I got to be objective and honest about the character. I've done the research and the analysis, and I'm pretty confident in what I'm about to say. And just like I said about Jacko, even though I think this character is not trash, and I think he's better than Jacko, just like I said about her, like 2 days after she came out, I said she was terrible and not good, and over 3 months later, nobody has done anything with the character because she's not good. Sorry to break it to you. But anyway, Happy Chaos, right? And we'll have him go against Peanut Butter Complexion Kai Kisuke. Oh no, that's the wrong costume. Whatever. So I want to talk about Happy Chaos. But to first understand where I place him, not place him on the tier list, but kind of just where he fits in the game, you have to understand how I have this game broken up as far as a tier list. This is not a tier list video, and I'm not gonna do a tier list. Well, I might do a tier list video, but I want to talk about kind of the tiers of the game. So I see the game in 4 tiers. You have a top tier, who I think are the overpowered characters who need to be slightly toned down. You have a viable tier of the characters who are really good and you can win a tournament with. You can play those characters and kind of grind it out with, and you don't need to play any other character but them. Then you have the non-viable tier characters who may not necessarily be bad characters, but you're not just playing that one character alone just doesn't feel like enough. Whether it's they have matchups they struggle with, they just don't have quite all the tools, or they just don't do enough damage, or they die really easily, whatever. Like, they have some type of fatal flaw or some type of weakness that just the characters above them just don't have to deal with. And then we have the low tier characters, the characters that just need buffs, aren't good enough, just are kind of a joke when you compare them to the top tiers. So those would be the 4 tiers, the 4 levels of the game. And where I would place Happy Chaos is at the non-viable tier of this game. I don't think you can play just Happy Chaos and succeed far enough to, like, let's say, win a tournament or do amazing and just grind and become like the best. You can become the best Happy Chaos player, but just become like the best player. Like, the character will hold you back eventually, is how I feel. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the character's bad. I want to talk about 2 things, his offense and his defense. We'll do offense first because it's a lot simpler. Now, Happy Chaos, I think, is a very strong character offensively. I think he has some really good tools. I think, honestly, he has really solid neutral. Like, he's got good buttons, right? His anti-air is kind of shit, but he's got good buttons, you know what I mean? He can outspace you. He can shoot. This ain't really a projectile, but he can hit you from a distance. You know what I mean? He's got those options. He's got things like clone he can put out to kind of protect himself to do things. He's got cool combos, and he can get good damage, right? He's not lacking in the and this is a simple combo, right? He's not lacking in the damage department. He's not lacking in the ability to wall break. You know what I mean? He can do basically what you need him to do on offense, right? Kind of what he's capable of, right? Which is really, really cool. He can do really good pressure too, with his gun and like, you know what I mean? Wow. Right? You know what I mean? You can catch people mashing. You can do gun pressure. If I wasn't trash and get watched by the AI, but yeah, you get the point, right? He's got some good offensive stuff. You know, he's got a pretty solid strike throw game. If you have the gun out, you got him afraid that you're just gonna run up and shoot him. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, which is really, really good. But his offense isn't perfect, right? His offense does come with some limits, and you know, he has his meters, right? But it's not even just the meters that are really the issue. I think the meter's fine. I'm not mad at the meter or the bullets. It's just that he kind of isn't his best until he has all his resources going, right? And that's kind of the issue here. I'm probably not going to be able to show it. Well, I can show it like this. You know, when you first pull the gun out, if you just shoot, it's RNG, right? If you let it focus, it'll hit. The issue with this is this can miss in combos, and I probably won't be able to show it. I was trying to show it earlier. But it's hard to replicate. But there we go. The first bullet just missed, right? So in combos, these bullets can still just randomly miss. That's a big issue because his BNBs usually use 1, maybe 2 bullets, depending on which version you want to go for. So that's a big issue. That's just a part of the problem. And the other thing is not really a problem. It's just that he doesn't become the best version of himself until he has all the shit going. So he's hit you with this, he's hit you with this, he has enough meter, and he's got all bullets. This is when he's top tier. When he can get this going, he is amazing. Oh man, he's top tier. He is so scary. Because like he can just pull it at this point, I can just pull this gun out and you gotta hold that. So you can either sit there, block, and take the chip, you can try to take your chances running in, and if I have this, I'm not gonna miss. And look how many bullets I get off. I can get 5 out of 6 bullets. You know what I mean? Like, he gets really scary. But the thing is, he has to set that up. If you look at the top tier characters in the game, they're scary as soon as they get on the screen. You can say Leo has a win condition, back turn, but he doesn't even need to earn back turn. He can just whiff a special move and earn his win condition. Like, the other characters, like Mei is scary as soon as she's on the screen. Ramlethal is stupid as soon as round start happens. Happy Chaos has to get set up in order to be scary on offense. Then you get to his defense, right? And I kind of wanted to talk about Kai a tiny bit, just because I think Kai and Happy Chaos's offensive pressure are kind of similar. They both don't have command grabs, but they have some solid strike throw game. They both want to get the dust going because, you know, Happy Chaos can combo off his meterless, right? Really, really cool stuff. But it's kind of similar in the sense that, like, you want to get a knockdown, get some pressure going, then you really get your game going, right? Like, I feel like that's how Happy Chaos is kind of gonna be played, especially watching good players, like watching Kazunoko play. It's like a lot of knockdown, get my bullets, or knockdown, get my focus, and then run my gun pressure on you on your wake up, right? And it's good pressure, but I feel like that's the game with him. It isn't really mix in the sense of other characters. And you can throw this in, but I feel like it's kind of cheeky and people will eventually start reacting to regular dust, especially offline. I think that would be a thing. But I think him and Kai have similar offenses. But I think as far as defense goes, because I think defense is where his weaknesses really, really stand out is defensively. Because his offense is good. It's great. It can be amazing, but it's at the very least good. Which is why I don't think he's a terrible character. But I think in defense is where he's the worst character in the game. Now, he's not the worst overall, but his defense is the worst. Because he has no defensive mechanics. If you don't know, he has this super, which isn't an attack, has no invul. Then this is his only attacking super, and it has absolutely no invul. Just absolutely none whatsoever. You can jab him right out of it. That's just kind of just what it is. Like, if I were to set Zato to... I guess it's an encounter with that. Smoked right out of it, right? Absolutely no invul. He also just has no defensive mechanics, right? He has no way to really get you off of him, if that makes sense. The closest thing he has is Clone, and Clone just isn't great at it. Like, that was me trying to jab into Clone and getting counter hit for it. Right? Now, that time it worked, but again, as you know, if you know this character, it still takes health, right? And the Clone got destroyed that easily. He could probably cancel that into a special move and still pressure me after, right? Like, the Clone tanks one hit, which is really cool, but they don't have to just do one hit and, like, not follow it up. You know what I mean? So it's not the greatest defensive option. It has no invul. I honestly think if this move was like invincible for a few frames on startup, I think it would probably solve this major issue for him, but it doesn't. The reason I have Zato here is because I know people are going to say, oh, well, Zato doesn't have any defensive mechanics either. Zato doesn't have any reversal supers, right? None of Zato's supers are invincible. And that's true. They're both not invincible. However, Zato is designed around having, like, weak, quote-unquote, defense. So, you know, when Zato has Eddie out, it's party time. This is his man them at the club. You know what I mean? He can go crazy, right? He got the squad with him. He feeling himself. So when Zato has Eddie, he can do all kind of crazy stuff. That's his thing, right? When he doesn't have Eddie, oh shit, I'm weak. Except I can fly. And I can air dash with charge dust, right? Like, except I have these other tools, right? Not to mention, if I were to Zato and I were to just run Eddie out, right? I just don't have Eddie anymore. If I command grab you, look at my meter. His command grab is designed to take long enough to refill his gauge. His gauge also just refills over time. He doesn't have to manually do anything. And I know Happy Chaos is I know this gauge refills over time, but it refills a lot slower, as you can see, right? It definitely is refilling very slow. And if I were to, obviously one more time, just show this. Eddie's gone. Look how fast that refills, right? A lot faster. Plus, I got to regain my own bullets manually, which is not a bad thing. Getting bullets is cool. It's very easy. I have no complaints about that. It's just saying him and Zato are similar just ain't really the truth. Also forgot to mention Zato has a pose. Move is basically a shield. So, I mean, to say he doesn't have defensive mechanics is kind of nuts when he literally has a shield. And you can summon, unsummon it. Yeah, it's kind of stupid. Just forgot to throw that in the video too. Not to mention Zato has his 2P's really good. Like, look how mashable this is. Look how much separation that creates on block, right? That's on block. And on hit, you can get 4 of these things. Look how much separation that creates, right? And at this point, you can get Eddie back out, so that encourages them to back off. If I'm Happy Chaos, you know what I mean? Look, I didn't really create any separation at all. You know what I mean? If you get close enough, you can land 3, but it ain't much more separation. You're still in hit range, right? You really can't get people off of you with this character, and that's a massive problem. I know it doesn't seem like it, you know, just by looking at this, but imagine picking Happy Chaos going up against a Chip player, a Milia player, a Nago player, a Mei player. You have no way to get them off of you, so it's party time the whole round. And there are other characters who you can say, oh, but that happens, like Eno can get mauled or Ramazan can get mauled. It's like, yeah, but once you have 50 meter, they have to respect that you can reversal super and smoke them, right? They have to respect that option. Well, Happy Chaos, that it doesn't exist. You can literally rush him down the entire round and there's nothing he can do about it. There's not a, like, he can hope that you don't got a meaty and try to mash jab out of it. But even if he does, he doesn't get separation. He has to commit to like 2P or 2P, 6S, right? He has to commit to that. You're not confirming that unless you land 2 of them. And that depends on the spacing. It's not guaranteed. And the thing is, it ain't safe. It ain't safe. So now you got to commit to this into something else, right? This pulls a gun out, which you can't block. This, not safe. This, not, I mean, depending on what they do, not safe, right? You can go on to reload and be kind of safe, but then you open yourself up to more pressure because now you're holding down back, right? Or you're holding back trying to block, right? You know, then you open yourself up to pressure unless you just got godlike defense. The air dash, you 6P it, even though your anti-airs are kind of shit. So it kind of leaves them in a disadvantageous position, right? So those would be the reasons why I think Happy Chaos is just not top tier, not exactly viable on his own. By not viable, I don't mean, oh, don't ever pick the character, he's terrible. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you want to play this character competitively, get ready to have a secondary. Like, you can play him and then play a top tier secondary. Because I think playing Happy Chaos alone is just not the way. I don't think it's going to work out very well for you. Just being honest, I think the character is really cool, but just putting that out there. But anyway, that's all I got for y'all today, man. Play some Happy Chaos. I think he's mad cool. But if you want to compete and play in tournaments, I would not recommend this character. Not yet. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. Y'all stay safe. JSF, I'm out. Peace.